Hello friends, hi, this is Nilanjana and you are watching Biostudy Pathshala. So in our previous episode we have covered about basics of epistasis. So in our today's class we will learn one type of epistasis. So let's see what we are going to learn in today's episode. So you have seen today's episode is on recessive epistasis. So let's learn recessive epistasis. So today's topic is recessive epistasis. So what is the meaning of recessive epistasis? In our previous video, I have mentioned that the actual meaning of epistasis is to mask. So what is the meaning of mask? Mask means kind of suppression. For example, here again two genes A and B genes, and between these two genes, for example, A is epistatic over B gene. That means in the presence of A gene, B gene cannot show its expression. But what is the meaning of recessive epistasis? So here A is epistatic gene and B is hypostatic gene. Okay, and in case of recessive epistasis, what actually occurs? Let's see. First, the A gene products will be three kind of gene products or three kind of genotypes. These are capital A, that is homozygous dominant form. Next is capital A, that is heterozygous form. Next is small a, that is homozygous recessive form. Okay, and in case of B gene will be same, that is capital B, that is homozygous dominant form. Capital B, small b will be the heterozygous form, and the small b will be homozygous recessive form. So as I have mentioned that A is epistatic and B is hypostatic, that means the A gene will be or will show its suppression effect or its epistatic effect on B gene. But as it is recessive epistasis, so the homozygous recessive genotype of A gene will show its epistatic effect on B gene. That means the small a genotype will suppress capital B genotype function or capital B genotype function or small b. Although the homozygous recessive form of B gene cannot show its expression, because we all know that homozygous recessive form of any gene cannot produce any functional protein, so it remains as no result. So the small a, that is recessive homozygous condition of A gene, will suppress the effect of homozygous dominant condition of B gene and heterozygous condition of B gene. So this is the actual meaning of recessive epistasis. So what is the definition of recessive epistasis? So the homozygous recessive form of epistatic gene, if shows its expression or its epistatic power to another gene, this event will be known as recessive epistasis. And due to the epistatic effect of the epistatic gene or the homozygous recessive form of epistatic gene, the another gene cannot show its expression. So this is all about the hypothetical example. The actual example, the coat color of rodent follows the recessive epistasis pattern. So the coat color of rodents are of three types. This is agouti, next black, and the next is white. And these three coat patterns are followed the recessive epistasis pattern. In between these three coat colors, white is much more recessive, and white is recessive than black and agouti, and the black is recessive than agouti. That means the white is the most recessive form in between these three coat colors, and this recessive epistasis will give rise to 9:3:4 phenotypic ratio. And this example shows two type of genes, one is A gene and one is C gene. The C gene product, that is capital C or capital C small c, leads to black pigmentation, and the precursor of this C gene or the C gene product, for example the C gene product is E1, so the precursor of E1 enzyme is white or albino. That means the E1 enzyme can show its function on albino coloration, and the A gene product, for example capital A, that is homozygous dominant condition of A gene and heterozygous condition of A gene, shows the agouti coloration, and the precursor of this two genotype is black, and the product of these two genotypes are E2 enzyme. That means the precursor of this E2 enzyme is black. That means the black can be transformed to agouti through the enzyme activity E2. So we all know the white coloration, that means no pigment, that means albino coloration. Black pigments means the formation of black pigment. So what is the meaning of agouti coloration? Agouti coloration is kind of gray pattern, and this gray pattern arises because of the presence of yellow band in between two black band or two black fur, and this leads to formation of the agouti coloration. So this is about the gist of recessive epistasis. Now we will see the cross which follow the recessive epistasis pattern, and how this recessive epistasis may modify the phenotypic ratio to 9:3:4. So let's see. So in P1 generation, one agouti mice crossed with one albino mice, and this agouti mice shows its genotype as capital A, capital C, that is all homozygous dominant form, and this mice shows its phenotype as you can see here as well, it's agouti, and this albino mice shows its genotype small a, small c, that is homozygous recessive form, and the coloration is albino. Now these two individuals will produce gametes, and the gametic generation will be named as G1 generation, and in this G1 generation this individual will produce capital A, capital C gamete. That means the number of the gametes will be 4, but the types of gamete will be same, that is capital A, capital C, and this albino individual will produce small a, small c type of gamete. Obviously the number of gametes will be again 4. Now these gametes will fuse together to form the F1 individuals. So in case of F1 generation, we can see the individual with the grayish pattern, and this individual will show the capital A, capital C, small c genotype, that means the agouti pattern. So from here we can say that agouti coloration can be coded by capital A dash, capital C dash. That means the presence of one dominant allele of A gene and one dominant allele of C gene will show the agouti coloration. Now we will see the selfing between F1 individual. That means the agouti mice will be crossed with another agouti mice, and this agouti mice will show its genotype as capital A, capital C, small c, that means the agouti phenotype, and this individual again will show the capital A, capital C, small c genotype with Agouti phenotype. Now each of this individual will produce 4 types of gametes. So let's see what are the types of gametes. This individual will produce 4 types of gametes. These are capital A, capital C, capital A, small a, capital C, small a, small c. Again, this individual will produce 4 types of gametes. These are capital A, capital C, capital A, small a, capital C, and small a, small c. Now we will see the cross between these 2 individuals through a checkerboard. So this cross is represented through checkerboard. In this checkerboard, these are male gametes and these are female gametes. And you can see here total 16 individuals are obtained. And within this 16 individual, these individuals show the grayish pattern, that is Agouti pattern. And you can see this individual show 1 capital A allele and 1 capital C allele. Here you can see 2 capital A, 2 capital C. Here you can see 2 capital A, 1 capital C, 1 small c. Here you can see 1 small a, 2 capital C. And here you can see 1 capital A, small a, 1 capital C, small c. So from this data we can say that 1 capital A and 1 capital C leads to Agouti coloration. That means capital A dash, capital C dash will form the Agouti coloration, and this Agouti pattern can be observed in 9 individuals among these 16 individuals. You can see here these 4 individuals, these 3 individuals, and these 2 individuals. That means 9 individuals among these 16 individuals will show the Agouti pattern. Next is here capital A, small c show the albino coloration. Here you can see capital A, small c, albino coloration. Here again capital A, small c shows the albino coloration. That means 1 capital A allele and homozygous recessive form of C gene shows the albino coloration. That means capital A dash, small c shows the albino coloration, and with this particular genotype the individuals will be 3. Here you can see this one, and this one. These 3 individuals will show the albino coloration with this particular genotype. Next is small a, capital C, small a, capital C, small a, capital C, small c. That means homozygous recessive form of small a or homozygous recessive form of A gene and heterozygous condition or homozygous dominant condition of C gene lead to formation of black pigment. That means small a, capital C dash, this particular genotype shows the black pigmentation, and with this particular genotype the number of individual will be 3 among the 16 individuals. And the last one is small a, small c which shows the albino coloration. That means small a, small c shows the albino coloration, and with this particular genotype the individual will be 1 among 16 individual. So from this checkerboard we can obtain this data. So here Agouti color shown by 9 individuals, black color is shown by 3 individuals, and the albino color is shown by 4 individuals among 16 individuals. So from this checkerboard we can obtain the phenotypic ratio as 9 Agouti, 3 black and 4 albino. So this is for the cross of recessive epistasis F1 individual. So till now we have learned about the cross procedure of the recessive epistasis and the phenotypic ratio of recessive epistasis. So now we will know, or we will learn, the actual enzymatic pathway which is responsible for the modification of the phenotypic ratio. That means the enzymatic pathway regarding the recessive epistasis. So let's learn. Now we will see the enzymatic pathway for recessive epistasis. The albino coloration or the white pigment, that means no pigmentation, is the basic precursor for this pathway, and this no pigmentation is coded by small a, small c. that means all the homozygous form of A gene, all the homozygous recessive form of A gene and C gene, and this albino color transformed to black, which is coded by small a capital C dash, and this black color formed due to activity of E1 enzyme. So this black color, which is coded by small a capital C dash, that means presence of one dominant allele of C gene leads to formation of black pigment. So now this enzyme, that is E1 enzyme, is the product of capital C or capital C small c. That means homozygous dominant condition of C gene or heterozygous condition of C gene leads to formation of black color, and the precursor of E1 enzyme is of course albino. Now from this black pigment, it is transformed to agouti, which is coded by capital A dash, capital C dash, and this transformation is due to the activity of E2 enzyme, and this E2 enzyme is the product of capital A or capital A small a. That means homozygous dominant condition of A gene or heterozygous condition of A gene leads to formation of agouti coloration, but the precursor of E2 enzyme is black. E2 enzyme cannot show its effect on albino pigmentation. So this is how the recessive epistasis pathway actually occurs. So now if small c, that is homozygous recessive condition of C gene is present, it leads to formation of no functional E1 enzyme. That means if E1 enzyme is absent or if no any functional E1 enzyme is present, the albino coloration remain as it is. So this small c product leads to formation of albino again, which is coded by small c, small c. Capital A or capital A small a, that means the homozygous dominant form of A gene or heterozygous condition of A gene leads to formation of functional E2 enzyme. Now this E2 enzyme cannot lead to the formation of agouti coloration, which is coded by capital A dash, capital C dash from this albino coloration, because the precursor of E2 enzyme is black. It cannot show its effect on albino coloration. So the albino coloration remain as it is, the albino, but this albino phenotype will be coded by capital A dash, small c. That means if small c present or homozygous recessive form of C gene is present, the effect of A gene cannot be expressed, because here small c is present, that is homozygous recessive form is present, which cannot lead to the formation of black color, hence the rest pathway remains halt. So this is how the recessive epistasis or the enzymatic pathway for recessive epistasis actually work. So in our today's episode, we have learned about recessive epistasis, the cross procedure of recessive epistasis, the phenotypic ratio and the enzymatic pathway of recessive epistasis. So if this video is helpful for you, or if you understood the recessive epistasis through this video, you may let me know on comment section below. If this video seems to be helpful for you, then do a like and share this video with your friends. And I want to inform you something, that I do teach students online, and because of this pandemic situation, I teach all the students online. So if you need tuitions regarding biology of 11-12 class and BSc MSc botany honors and pass, you may let me know on comment section below, as well as you may let me know through mail. And lastly, if you are new to this channel, then do subscribe, do share more. So till then, thank you.